The Queen Mary, a name synonymous with luxury, speed, and now paranormal activity. The Queen Mary is a retired British ocean liner that sailed primarily in the North Atlantic Ocean from 1936 to 1967 for the Cunard Line, known as Cunard White Star Line, when the vessel entered service. The Queen Mary was conceived during a time of intense competition between the British and German shipping industries. The design and construction of the ship aimed to create a vessel that would dominate the transatlantic passenger trade, offering both speed and luxury. The keel of the Queen Mary was laid on December 1, 1930, at the John Brown and Company shipyard in Clydebank, Scotland. The ship was initially known by its hull number, 534, until its name was officially announced. Construction was halted in December 1931 due to the Great Depression. Work resumed in 1934 after a loan was secured from the British government. The Queen Mary was launched on September 26, 1934, by Her Majesty Queen Mary, the consort of King George V. The ship was named in her honor, marking the occasion with significant fanfare and public interest. After the launch, the fitting-out process began, equipping the ship with luxurious interiors, state-of-the-art engineering, and safety features. The Queen Mary embarked on her maiden voyage on May 27, 1936, from Southampton, England to New York City. The ship was celebrated for its speed and elegance, quickly becoming a symbol of British maritime prowess. Shortly after her maiden voyage, the Queen Mary captured the Blue Riband, an accolade awarded for the fastest transatlantic crossing from the French liner Normandy. This achievement solidified her reputation as one of the fastest and most prestigious ocean liners of her time. The Queen Mary operated as a luxury liner, offering passengers unprecedented levels of comfort and sophistication. She was designed to carry 2,139 passengers and 1,101 crew members, with accommodations divided into 3 classes: first, second, and third. The ship attracted a host of famous passengers, including Hollywood stars, political figures, and royalty, contributing to her glamorous image. Such figures were Winston Churchill. The British Prime Minister used the Queen Mary as a means of transportation during World War II. Clark Gable, the famous actor known for films like Gone with the Wind. Marlene Dietrich, the renowned German-American actress and singer. Greta Garbo, the iconic Swedish-American actress. Elizabeth Taylor, the legendary actress known for her beauty and acting talent. Bob Hope, the famous comedian and actor. Bing Crosby, the popular singer and actor. This period marked the Queen Mary as a beacon of luxury and technological innovation, setting the stage for her later roles during World War II and her eventual retirement as a museum and hotel in Long Beach, California. But there is a dark side. The Lady in White is described as a beautiful woman dressed in an elegant white evening gown from the 1930s or 1940s. She is often seen gliding gracefully through various parts of the ship, most notably the ship's first-class lounge, also known as the Queen's Salon. While the exact identity of the Lady in White remains unknown, several theories circulate about who she might be. Some believe she was a first-class passenger who met a tragic end aboard the ship. Others speculate that she might have been an entertainer or a guest who enjoyed dancing and socializing in the ship's heyday. There are no concrete historical records to confirm her identity, adding to the mystery and allure of her presence. This is the primary area where the Lady in White is spotted. Witnesses have reported seeing her dancing alone or gliding across the room. Another hotspot for paranormal activity, the pool area has also been a site of sightings of the Lady in White. Passengers and staff have reported fleeting glimpses of her in the corridors and occasionally in the cabins, often accompanied by an eerie feeling of being watched. Many visitors and paranormal investigators have reported seeing the Lady in White. These sightings are often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of melancholy. Some have even claimed to hear faint music playing when she appears, reminiscent of the ship's golden era. The Queen Mary has been the subject of numerous paranormal investigations, with the Lady in White being a focal point. Paranormal experts have used various tools and techniques, including EVP, electronic voice phenomena, recordings, and EMF, electromagnetic field, detectors to capture evidence of her presence. Some investigations have yielded intriguing results, such as unexplained voices, cold spots, and even photographic anomalies that some believe depict the Lady in White. The story of the Lady in White has become an integral part of the Queen Mary's haunted lore. She has been featured in numerous TV shows, documentaries, and ghost tours, drawing countless visitors to the ship each year in hopes of catching a glimpse of her. The Queen Mary offers ghost tours and special events, such as overnight paranormal investigations, where guests can explore the haunted areas of the ship and learn more about its ghostly residents, including the enigmatic Lady in White. The Lady in White remains one of the most captivating and enduring ghost stories associated with the Queen Mary. Her graceful yet eerie presence continues to intrigue and spook those who encounter her, making the Queen Mary a must-visit destination for paranormal enthusiasts and history buffs alike. The RMS Queen Mary, during its years of service as both a luxury liner and a troop ship during World War II, had a bustling kitchen that served thousands of meals to passengers and crew. The kitchen was a vital part of the ship, operating around the clock to cater to the needs of everyone on board. According to the legend, a tragic fire broke out in the ship's kitchen during one of its transatlantic voyages. The fire was sudden and fierce, quickly spreading through the kitchen and trapping several staff members inside. The exact cause of the fire is unclear, with some stories attributing it to a grease fire and others to faulty equipment. The kitchen staff, consisting of cooks, chefs, and other workers, struggled to escape the blaze. Despite their efforts, a number of them were overcome by the smoke and flames. The ship's crew and emergency responders worked tirelessly to extinguish the fire and rescue those trapped, but sadly, several lives were lost. The tragic deaths of the kitchen staff are said to have left a lasting impression on the Queen Mary. Over the years, numerous visitors and paranormal investigators have reported strange occurrences in and around the kitchen area. Clanging pots, pans, and the sounds of kitchen work are often heard when the area is empty. Shadowy figures and ghostly apparitions of the kitchen staff have been seen, some appearing to go about their duties as if unaware of their tragic fate. Sudden drops in temperature and cold spots are frequently reported in the kitchen, often accompanied by an eerie feeling. The smell of burning and cooking food, particularly that of a fire, has been noted by visitors, adding to the eerie atmosphere. One of the most commonly reported apparitions is that of the head chef, often seen in his white uniform, overseeing the kitchen even in death. Conversations and shouts, as if in a busy kitchen, are heard echoing through the empty halls. Displaced items, kitchen utensils and items are found moved or misplaced, sometimes arranged as if someone had been preparing a meal. While the story of the kitchen fire and the parish staff is a compelling part of the Queen Mary's haunted lore, it is important to note that concrete historical evidence of this specific incident is scarce. The tale persists as part of the rich tapestry of ghost stories that surround the ship, drawing paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors alike to explore its haunted halls. Captain Jones joined the RMS Queen Mary, one of the most prestigious ocean liners of its time, as a senior officer. He quickly made a mark with his leadership and expertise. During World War II, the Queen Mary was converted into a troop ship, and Captain Jones played a crucial role in transporting thousands of troops across the Atlantic, earning commendations for his service. In 1965, John Treasure Jones was appointed the captain of the Queen Mary. His tenure as captain marked the final years of the ship's active service as a passenger liner. Captain Jones had the honor of commanding the Queen Mary on her final voyage from Southampton to Long Beach, California in 1967. This journey marked the end of an era and the beginning of the ship's new life as a hotel and museum. Life after the Queen Mary. After retiring from his seafaring career, Captain Jones remained active in maritime circles, sharing his experiences and knowledge. He passed away in 1993, leaving behind a legacy of excellence in maritime service. Captain Jones is one of the most frequently reported spirits on the Queen Mary. His strong connection to the ship, especially during its final voyage, is believed to be the reason for his lingering presence. Many sightings of Captain Jones's ghost have been reported on the ship's bridge. Visitors and staff have seen a figure in a captain's uniform, often described as looking thoughtful or contemplative, as if overseeing the ship. Some have seen a full-body apparition of Captain Jones, complete with his distinctive captain's hat and uniform, walking the decks or standing at the helm. In addition to visual sightings, there are frequent reports of disembodied voices, believed to be Captain Jones giving orders or conversing with unseen crew members. Visitors to the bridge and captain's quarters often report sudden drops in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Some paranormal investigators claim to have communicated with Captain Jones's spirit, receiving intelligent responses through EVP, electronic voice phenomena, recordings. Captain John Treasure Jones is remembered as a distinguished mariner whose career spanned some of the most significant events of the 20th century, including World War II and the golden age of ocean liners. His role in the Queen Mary's final voyage solidified his place in maritime history and contributed to the ship's enduring legacy as a historical and haunted landmark. The ghost of Captain Jones adds to the Queen Mary's allure as a haunted attraction, drawing paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors from around the world. Stories of his ghost continue to be a subject of fascination, blending the historical significance of the Queen Mary with the mystery of the paranormal. Captain John Treasure Jones's legacy lives on, both in the annals of maritime history and the ghostly lore that surrounds the RMS Queen Mary. His spirit is said to keep a watchful eye over the ship he once commanded, ensuring that it remains a symbol of the golden age of ocean travel and a testament to the lives and stories that have shaped its history. The tale of Jackie, the ghostly little girl who is said to haunt the RMS Queen Mary, is one of the most enduring and well-known stories associated with the ship. Here's a detailed account of what is known and believed about Jackie. Unlike some of the other ghosts associated with the Queen Mary, there are no concrete historical records or official documents that provide clear details about Jackie's life or death. Her story is primarily passed down through paranormal lore and the experiences of visitors and investigators. According to the legend, Jackie was a young girl, around 5 or 6 years old, who tragically drowned in the second-class swimming pool on the Queen Mary. This pool, now long since drained and closed to the public, is said to be one of the most active paranormal hotspots on the ship. The exact date of Jackie's death is not well documented, contributing to the mystery surrounding her story. Some accounts suggest she drowned during one of the Queen Mary's transatlantic voyages, but the details remain vague. Despite the tragic circumstances of her death, Jackie is often described as a playful and happy spirit. She is said to interact with visitors, especially children, and seems to enjoy their company. The second-class swimming pool is the primary location where Jackie's presence is felt. Visitors report hearing the sounds of a little girl laughing, splashing in water, and even calling out for her parents. Jackie has been seen by many witnesses. She often appears as a small girl in period clothing, sometimes dripping wet as if she just emerged from the pool. Electronic voice phenomena, EVPs, have captured what many believe to be Jackie's voice. She's been heard singing, giggling, and responding to questions posed by paranormal investigators. One famous EVP recording features Jackie clearly saying, "I'm Jackie," when asked for her name. Some visitors have reported seeing small wet footprints appearing on the floor near the pool area, despite the pool being dry for decades. Some paranormal experts believe Jackie's spirit might be a residual haunting, meaning she is replaying the moments of her life and death without awareness of her surroundings. This theory is supported by the repetitive nature of her appearances and actions. Others believe Jackie's ghost is an intelligent haunting, meaning she is aware of and interacts with the living. This is evidenced by the EVPs and direct responses to questions posed by investigators. Jackie's story is one of the key attractions for paranormal enthusiasts visiting the Queen Mary. Her friendly and interactive nature makes her one of the most endearing and intriguing spirits on the ship. Jackie's ghost has been featured in numerous television shows, documentaries, and books about the Queen Mary's hauntings. Her story continues to captivate audiences and add to the ship's reputation as one of the most haunted locations in the world. While the true historical details of Jackie's life and death remain elusive, her presence on the Queen Mary is undeniable to many who visit and investigate the ship. Whether a playful child spirit or a residual echo of a tragic past, Jackie continues to be a central figure in the ghostly lore of the RMS Queen Mary, touching the hearts of those who encounter her. John Henry is believed to have been a young engineer or maintenance worker on the RMS Queen Mary. Specific details about his life, including his full name and background, are not well documented, contributing to the mystery surrounding his story. The most commonly told story is that John Henry died in a tragic accident involving one of the ship's watertight doors. This incident is said to have occurred in the engine room or boiler room area, where the machinery and watertight doors were located. One of the specific locations frequently mentioned in the legend is watertight door 13. These doors were crucial for the ship's safety, designed to seal off sections in case of flooding. The story goes that John Henry was crushed by the door, which closed unexpectedly during a drill or routine operation. John Henry's spirit is most often reported in the engine room, near the location of his death. Visitors and crew members have reported seeing a shadowy figure or a full-bodied apparition of a man in work clothes, often appearing as if he is performing his duties. People have reported hearing disembodied voices, believed to be John Henry's, in the engine room. These voices sometimes call out for help or warn others to be careful, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Visitors to the engine room frequently report sudden drops in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. These sensations are often attributed to John Henry's presence. Some paranormal investigators have noted that tools and equipment in the engine room seem to move on their own or are found in places where they were not left, suggesting that John Henry's spirit might be continuing his work even in death. Paranormal investigators have captured numerous EVPs in the engine room, with recordings that include faint voices, banging sounds, and even what seems to be responses to direct questions. Photographs and videos taken in the engine room sometimes show unexplained shadows or light anomalies, which some believe are evidence of John Henry's ghost. One theory is that John Henry's ghost is a residual haunting, meaning his spirit is replaying the traumatic event of his death. This is supported by the repetitive nature of the sightings and sounds in the engine room. Others believe John Henry's ghost is an intelligent haunting, meaning he is aware of his surroundings and can interact with the living. This is suggested by the EVPs and the apparent movement of tools and equipment. John Henry's story adds to the rich tapestry of ghostly lore that makes the Queen Mary a popular destination for paranormal enthusiasts. His presence in the engine room is a key highlight of many ghost tours and investigations. The tale of John Henry has been featured in various media, including television shows, documentaries, and books about the Queen Mary's hauntings. His story continues to intrigue and frighten those who visit the ship. While the specific historical details of John Henry's life and death are not well documented, the legend of his tragic accident and ghostly presence on the RMS Queen Mary endures. His story, marked by the mysterious and often eerie experiences of those who venture into the engine room, remains a poignant part of the ship's haunted history. The legend of Dana, a young girl whose tragic fate is said to have occurred on the RMS Queen Mary, adds to the ship's haunted reputation. Here's a detailed account of her story. Unclear historical records. Similar to other ghost stories associated with the Queen Mary, concrete historical records about Dana are scarce. Her story is primarily passed down through paranormal lore and the experiences of visitors and investigators. According to the legend, Dana was part of a family traveling on the Queen Mary. The tragic event that led to her death involved her entire family, adding a layer of horror to the story. The tragedy that happened has made this cabin on the ship one of the ship's most infamous locations due to the gruesome events that reportedly took place there. The most commonly told version of the story is that Dana's father, driven by unknown reasons, killed his family and then himself. Dana's mother and sister were reportedly found strangled in the bed. Dana was found shot in the bathroom, indicating she was the last to be killed. After committing these horrific acts, Dana's father is said to have taken his own life. This room is the focal point of Dana's ghost story. Visitors report experiencing a variety of paranormal phenomena in and around this area. Dana's ghost has been seen by many witnesses. She often appears as a young girl, sometimes looking distressed or sad. Guests have reported hearing the sound of a girl crying or screaming, especially in the middle of the night. These sounds are believed to be Dana reliving the traumatic events of her death. The cabin and its surroundings are known for sudden drops in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of dread or sadness. Visitors and paranormal investigators have captured EVPs that include Dana's voice, often calling out for her mother or asking for help. Many paranormal investigators have conducted EVP sessions in the room, capturing what they believe to be Dana's voice. These recordings often feature a young girl's voice responding to questions or expressing fear and confusion. Some investigators have captured unexplained anomalies in photographs and videos taken, including orbs, shadows, and ghostly figures that they believe to be Dana. Some believe Dana's haunting is a residual one, where her spirit is trapped in a loop, reliving the traumatic events of her death. Others believe Dana's ghost is an intelligent haunting, capable of interacting with the living. This theory is supported by the EVPs and the direct responses to questions. Dana's story is one of the most harrowing and compelling ghost tales on the Queen Mary. It draws many paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors to the room. The tale of Dana has been featured in various media, including television shows, documentaries, and books about the Queen Mary's hauntings. Her tragic story continues to intrigue and frighten those who hear it. While the historical accuracy of Dana's story remains uncertain, her legend persists as a poignant and chilling part of the RMS Queen Mary's haunted history. The combination of a tragic family murder-suicide and the subsequent ghostly encounters makes Dana's tale one of the most unforgettable stories associated with the ship. Room B340 on the RMS. Queen Mary is one of the most infamous locations on the ship, known for its supposed intense paranormal activity. The room is located on B deck, which was part of the ship's original first-class accommodations. After the war, the Queen Mary resumed her role as a luxury liner, and room B340 continued to serve as a first-class cabin. One of the most persistent legends associated with the room involves a murder that supposedly took place there. The story goes that a man was brutally murdered in the room and his spirit haunts the space. However, there are no historical records or documented evidence to confirm this event. Another version of the legend suggests that a man went insane while staying in the room and died under mysterious circumstances. Some accounts say he was found dead in the bed, while others claim he was discovered in the bathroom. Over the years, numerous guests who stayed in the room reported experiencing strange and unsettling occurrences. Guests have reported hearing voices when no one else was present, often sounding like whispers or distant conversations. Many have heard footsteps in the room or the hallway outside, even when the area was empty. One of the most common reports involves the room's water faucets turning on and off by themselves. Some guests have felt an invisible presence touch or push them, adding to the room's eerie reputation. Items in the room, such as bedclothes, furniture, and personal belongings, have been reported to move on their own. Paranormal investigators have also captured EVPs in the room, with recordings of unexplained voices and sounds that many believe to be spirits trying to communicate. Due to the numerous reports of paranormal activity and guest complaints, the room was closed to the public for many years. The room was stripped of its furnishings and left vacant to prevent further disturbances. In recent years, the room was reopened and refurbished as part of the Queen Mary's haunted attraction. The room was redecorated to enhance the spooky experience, with props and effects added to create a more immersive environment for guests seeking a thrill. Today, the room is marketed as part of the Queen Mary's haunted tours. Guests can book the room for an overnight stay, experiencing the eerie ambiance and potential paranormal activity firsthand. The room remains one of the most popular attractions on the ship, drawing paranormal enthusiasts, ghost hunters, and curious visitors from around the world. The room's reputation as one of the Queen Mary's most haunted locations continues to captivate and intrigue those who visit the historic ship. Whether fueled by legends, personal experiences, or a combination of both, the room's haunted history adds to the Queen Mary's status as a premier destination for those interested in the paranormal. In 1988, the Walt Disney Company took over the lease of the Queen Mary as part of a broader plan to develop a theme park in Long Beach, California. This plan was named Port Disney and included the Queen Mary as a central attraction. Disney envisioned the Queen Mary as part of a larger entertainment complex that would include hotels, a marina, and various attractions themed around the ocean and maritime history. Disney began enhancing the ship's attractions, adding new features such as themed tours and interactive exhibits designed to attract visitors. They also improved the ship's maintenance and operations to align with Disney's standards. Despite these efforts, the Port Disney project faced significant challenges. Economic concerns and environmental regulations hindered the development of the larger theme park, and the ambitious plan was eventually shelved. Disney ended its lease in 1992, having managed the Queen Mary for about 4 years. The ship's management was transferred back to the city of Long Beach, and Disney's larger development plans for the area were discontinued. The tour that's given focuses on the Queen Mary's haunted history, taking visitors to some of the most paranormally active areas of the ship, including the infamous room B340, the engine room, and the pool areas. Tour guides share stories of ghost sightings and paranormal activity experienced by visitors and crew. For those interested in a deeper dive into the ship's ghostly legends, This tour allows visitors to use ghost hunting equipment and explore the ship after dark, led by professional paranormal investigators. This tour provides a detailed history of the Queen Mary, from her days as a luxurious ocean liner to her service as a troop ship during World War II and her current status as a floating hotel and museum. The tour includes visits to the bridge, the engine room, and other historically significant areas. Focused on the ship's engineering marvels, this tour takes visitors below deck to explore the engine room, boiler rooms, and other mechanical areas that powered the Queen Mary across the Atlantic. The Queen Mary offers a 4D theater experience featuring short films with special effects that engage all the senses, providing an entertaining and educational experience for visitors of all ages. Interactive scavenger hunts are available for families, offering a fun way to explore the ship while learning about its history. During the Halloween season, the Queen Mary transforms into a haunted attraction called Dark Harbor. This event features haunted mazes, scare zones, live entertainment, and themed bars, attracting thrill seekers and horror fans. In the winter months, the ship hosts a holiday event called Chill, which includes ice skating, ice tubing, holiday-themed attractions, and a festive market. The Queen Mary has undergone numerous maintenance and repair efforts to preserve her structural integrity and historical significance. These efforts are crucial given the ship's age and the challenges of maintaining a large, aging vessel. Ongoing projects focus on preserving the ship's historic elements, such as the original woodwork, Art Deco interiors, and mechanical systems. The city of Long Beach currently owns the Queen Mary. Over the years, various management companies have been contracted to operate the ship as a hotel, museum, and tourist attraction. As of now, Urban Commons, a real estate investment and development firm, has been managing the ship. They have focused on enhancing the visitor experience and ensuring the ship's continued operation as a historic landmark and tourist destination. The Queen Mary continues to function as a hotel, offering guests a unique experience of staying aboard a historic ocean liner. The ship also hosts various events including weddings, conferences, and private parties. There are ongoing discussions and plans for further development around the Queen Mary, including potential upgrades to the surrounding area to create a more comprehensive tourist destination. The Queen Mary remains a beloved historic landmark, attracting visitors with its rich history, luxurious accommodations, and paranormal allure. Disney's brief involvement brought enhancements and attention to the ship, and today, it continues to be a fascinating destination for history buffs, paranormal enthusiasts, and tourists from around the world. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. And have you ever visited the Queen Mary? Let us know in the comments.